I'm Jensen Toomey. I'm lead vocals and guitar for Les Gold.
Hi, I'm Jake Jarvis, and I play bass in Les Gold.
My name is Victor, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist in Les Gold.
Hi, my name is Tim, and I play guitar and lap steel guitar in Les Gold.
Hi, I'm Corey Abood, and I play drums in Les Gold.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, visiting from out of town, Portland indie rockers Les Gold blend familiar Northwest sounds with dream pop, folk rock, and 50s R&B to create songs that just make you want to dance. Welcome to Band in Seattle.
Living through your doses, oh my holy Moses. Sleeping on a bed of thorns until you call them roses. Speaking of the masses, still can't find your glasses. Drive it like you stole it up until it finally crashes. Babies breathing ashes, light so bright it flashes. Now that outfit clashes, never got a kiss. Under branches, unsettled stances, broken hearts, we cook and starve in new romances. What does it matter if it's broken and shattered? Battleships with the sight of chips on silver platters.
I had finished school and about 2 years out, and I had actually worked more on the electronic side of things, like EDM. I love dance music, and realized I was a much better singer and guitar player than I was a digital producer. And one day, looked at my buddy, who actually co-founded Les Gold. We kind of looked at each other as we were trying to mix and prepare a DJ set, and we were like, what the hell with this? And just picked up guitars, wrote a couple of songs, and brought in Tim Kay, our lead guitar player, who also had gone to high school with us, longtime friend and original drummer too, and kind of hobbled this project together and started bringing it out to a lot of the bigger producers in the Portland area.
Girl, I'm a master, dance a little faster, find another lover, cause the former was a bastard. Crucibles and casters, looking for an answer, settled on a master, you were made for this. Under branches, unsettled stances, broken hearts, we cook and starve in romance. What does it matter if it's broken and shattered?
Jake, the bass player, and I, we had a project called Fur, and Jake was a promoter, and Les Gold hit us up through Instagram to start setting up shows. And so we started playing shows together and kind of being like band allies, and hey, we got this cool thing, or hey, we got this cool thing. And then COVID hit, and then everything broke apart, and bands were splitting apart. So Jensen and I were like, well, dude, you don't really have a band, and I don't really have a full band, so why don't we start just playing? And we'll bring some of your music and some of your ideas, and we kind of established what we wanted to do with this project, and then we just put it together, and we've been practicing diligently for a little over a year now, but we've really only played a couple of shows. This is probably gonna be our third or fourth show.
Unsettled stances, broken hearts, we cook and starve in new romances. What does it matter if it's broken and shattered?
The first thing you have to do is get people to dance and have fun and be engaged and listen to the music. The primary thesis is how do we introduce ourselves? How do we get a great live show going? How do we, on a Friday night, get people to enjoy themselves for a minute?
was all wet and soggy. Green Monday morning with my cigarette and cup of coffee. Then you were walking with a full grip and a bag full of posies unloaded. Outside my window, there's a body in a bag. Inside, I've got a feeling it's the worst I've ever had.
Outside is our pandemic song. I wrote it when the pandemic first came about. It's about staying inside, not going outside.
It's core to the Les Gold idea, which is a song that sounds happy with like really macabre, like dark lyrics, you know, and it even has a veiled reference to the plague in it, you know, but most people, like I said, it sounds happy. They don't know that, so it's kind of funny.
So until you like listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh, it's a fun song. Listen to the lyrics, you're like, it's kind of dark, but I still like it. Yeah.
Lazy, dinner's ready. Go and sit alone with an empty belly. Outside my window, there's a body in a bag. Inside, I've got a feeling it's the worst I've ever had.
Kind of creating a sound that we like to call bummer fun. And so even though there's an acknowledgement of, you know, fear, and we still have this like pretty cool Americana groove going. And
I recorded outside at my house, in my living room. It was the first thing I ever did with Les Gold. I wasn't in the band at the time. They just asked me if I could record them, and I was like, yeah, I got tape machines and stuff.
Sometimes it feels like this is never gonna end. 'Cause inside I've got a feeling it's the worst I've ever had. 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 Worst I've ever had.
After the break, discover more about Les Gold.
Painted silver gold.
A lot of the things that we do kind of have like a double meaning, or it sounds happy, but it is dark, or it sounds dark, but it is happy with the meaning, just to kind of keep people on their toes.
Eyes covered in gray, blacking out into the sunset.
Saw you standing there and you look hungry. Let's ask some questions, answer them true. Where are you going and what do you do?
Half of us are kind of old school. Like, you know, Victor and I come from like kind of surf-esque, you know, like definitely 60s. And Jensen and Corey, I would say, and even Tim, they're like kind of like pop-oriented. So clashing that together to come up with like a vintage but contemporary pop-esque sort of rock vibe, I think. Because, you know, we kind of have like that 60s reverby sound, but kind of dancey pop. I call it gloom disco.
Chances I'll turn my head onto its side. The chances I'll weave
love Portland. I really think that there's a generally great level of talent in Portland, and there's a lot of I find pretty healthy positivity in Portland.
There's so much talent, so many people that are okay with the lifestyle and want the lifestyle of music and embracing the arts and embracing culture and all that. And I've always kind of enjoyed that there's never a shortage of musicians to play with. There's tons of good bands.
There's no competition. You know, it's not like, oh, you play bass in this band, I play bass in this band. Like, oh, really? Oh, well, yeah, we have to battle now, like battle of the basses. And it's like, everyone's just chill, you know? And it's like, everyone wants to meet everyone and hang out and what's your band doing? Like, we should play a show together. And it's just amazing. And some of the artists are just like out of this world.
Jensen is one of my favorite people I've met in my life because a lot of people are really passive about the experience of life, and Jensen, like I consider myself, is somebody who wants a lot out of life. And so he's willing to push himself and try things even if they're not already in his wheelhouse in order to try to push on the limits of what life can be.
I think he's a great songwriter, always very prepared. He knows what he wants out of the song before we even play it. He has a very big vision of songs that we come up with, and he's kind of the main songwriter behind Les Gold.
I think he and Victor are the most business-minded, and so that lends itself to, you know, skills when it comes to booking things. Jensen's very good about basically keeping the books balanced, you know, making sure to run down contacts and stay in touch and do all the businessy things that the rest of us are not wont to do.
So you could pick up all the teeth that were missing, lost and found. Such trash, a past full of hope, painted silver gold, and none of it is shining. Burn out and push me away, blue skies covered in gray, blacking out into the sunset.
Lost and Found is one of the primary reasons that I wanted to join the band, because I just really enjoyed that sort of new wave disco, that kind of very Blondie-esque music. I thought it was awesome.
A lot of the things that we do kind of have like a double meaning, or it sounds happy but it is dark, or it sounds dark but it is happy with the meaning, just to kind of keep people on their toes. And Lost and Found is the only song I think that we've written that sounds like what it's about.
Lost and Found is one of the older songs. A lot of the earlier songs have a very distinct sound to them. You know, any band sort of hopefully evolves over time. You don't want to write the same thing over and over again. That doesn't usually work unless you're AC/DC.
We really try to capture the indie disco, or like the gloom disco. We use that term a lot, but kind of like a darky dance song.
Heart grows fonder. We drove around my block all night, reminiscing. So you could pick up all the teeth that were missing, lost and found. When the car runs out of gas, we'll pull over so you can walk the streets again until you're sober, lost and found.
When we return, find out more about Les Gold.
Turn bittersweet euphoria.
We all have jobs, but we all understand what a dream looks like, and you know what you really want to do to be happy. And I'd hate myself forever if I didn't push this as far as I possibly could.
For December cold, the tickets to London.
I know I caused you trouble. I know
Wahoo is sort of like a play-by-play going through, like a breakup type thing. I mean, we like it because it sounds like the happiest song in the world, but the whole thing is about breaking up with somebody. It really is a play-by-play from start to finish if you look at the 2 verses and then the outro. And Victor, first song that he sang lead on for us and absolutely crushed it.
One of my favorite bands is the Velvet Underground. And sometimes as thought exercises, I try to write lyrics to like Velvet Underground songs. And so I wrote all these lyrics about that nobody's nice to anybody to the tune of Foggy Notion by the Velvet Underground. And then later Jensen started writing this cool music, and I had this like Foggy Notion Velvet Underground thing, and then so we ended up keeping just my chorus and the kind of concept of why doesn't anyone care about anyone else, and then he kind of rewrote the lyrics into more of an interpersonal relationship.
I like linking up with Corey on that one, on the choruses. That one took a lot of time, and all the pauses, we worked out all those, and so I just kind of play this melodic thing the whole time, and it's just, I'm just moving constantly.
Our time ready to just jump off, like in a very big way. I mean, we've been prepping tons of music, we've been dialing in the set, we've been figuring out our image, creating an LLC, having to jump through all these hoops that you have to do, getting the logo right, getting the sound right, what are our consistent elements, and now that we're starting to get all that packaged, I mean, I really feel like we're ready to go, especially with this group here. I mean, we're self-releasing this EP, prepping an album that I don't think we're going to release until we get a label partner to do it. We all have jobs, but we all understand what a dream looks like and what you really want to do to be happy, and I'd hate myself forever if I didn't push this as far as I possibly could.
Like you want the dream, right? Like you want to see yourself do well and successful. But now I'm just kind of like in the mindset where it's like I definitely want those things, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. I have another plan. I definitely would like to stop serving blue at some point. That'd be nice.
The abyss, I would strain to the light, but you'd insist, and we'd return. Bittersweet euphoria, incomplete and so adored. You're the enemy I love, but nevermore. Waiting for December cold to take its toll, and in the night, in frostbitten winds, I'll take your hand and say goodbye. Before you try to make it up, you're not trying hard enough. I ventured out to southern wars, lonely eye against the world, as the battle reached the bridge. The day was won, but you were missed. You're coquette.
We just love playing together, so we love playing shows and practicing together. So I think in the future, if we can do more of that, I'm really happy.
Try to have fun, make cool music that hopefully people like. It seems like people like it, and just see where it goes.
I just want to keep playing and pushing ourselves as much as possible. I don't need to become famous. I don't need to necessarily turn this into my full-time career, but I still want the most out of life. And so I still want to take this as seriously as possible, but as joyfully as possible, and just go as far as we can. And if as far as we can means that just have a great time, that's amazing. And if as far as we can is we're playing at the Moda Center, I'd be thrilled with that too.
watching. For more information about our bands, go to bandinseattle.com.